What is up, guys? We are back with another episode preparing for March Madness, building those brackets up. We are going to be sharing another presentation. This one's going to be talking about how to start building your bracket if you don't really know where to go aside from just guessing or what you've already seen on TV while watching some games. So, we're going to talk about a few different sources that I like to use, how I use them, and how they can help you. All right, so first one we're going to talk about today is Bart Torvik. This one is well known. They did reference it on the Selection Sunday show. They said the T rank, which is the main ranking, as you can see right here, for Bart Torvik. It's called the T rank. They talked about on the Selection Sunday show. It is one of the criteria they actually use now because it is a well-known metric, along with the other ones that we're going to talk about. So as you can see, they talk about offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, and aggregate. You get a ton of data such as effective field goal percentage, turnover percentage, rebound percentage, how often they're getting free throws, their shooting percentages and rates, tempo, and then WOB, which is wins above bubble, expected wins above the bubble teams. And then you can see up here, you can actually change the date. So what I like to do here is I like to change this start one, at least right now, to the it kind of trended out. So go to the last month or so, and then so maybe start this at mid-February and then go to the beginning of March and see how they did just to finish off the year. Kind of gives you an idea of which teams are really hot right now. What else is on Bart Torvik? They have team sheets. You can change the dates being used, like I discussed. It provides other rankings, such as KenPom and the BPI, which we're going to talk about KenPom in just a second. If you go to the team sheet ranks, it'll actually list teams as KenPom along with their BPI. I believe WOB is on there. KPI is on there, which is another resume tool similar to the net. And then the website is completely free, so super cool to use during the season. Even if you just want to follow it, it does show predicted game outcomes as well. It shows a lot of trends. You can dive into the stats for each team. Super cool website. Highly recommend tooling around on it, especially because it's free. You can learn a lot about a team, get into some more advanced metrics, learn some analytics, and gives you an idea of teams when you're making your bracket where you want to go with your picks. Next one is going to be KenPom. This is probably the most well-known or used one that I can think of off the top of my head, or that I see commonly used. Ken Pomeroy does run this one. It's an advanced analysis, so very highly technical analysis here. They've got net ranking, net ratings, offensive rating, defensive rating, adjusted tempo, even has a luck area, so you can kind of see who's been very lucky, who hasn't. Adjusted strength of schedule and non-conference strength of schedule. What's really cool about this website too is that you can see it's got their rankings, and then it also shows the seed that they are. So you can see where teams, you would expect the top 4 to be ones, or the next 4 to be twos, so on and so forth. But you can see teams like Gonzaga, they are the 9th overall team on KenPom, but an 8 seed. So they are really underseeded, meaning we expect them to perform much better than an 8 seed typically would. So super cool website. This one does have a paid feature on it. This is what I have pulled up right here is all free, and it does have every college basketball team in the country. The ones that are in the tournament are going to have this red shading, as you can see here. So very well respected, well known. Also, this one was discussed on the Selection Sunday show as well, so it is an actual metric that they use. It's been used to predict the champions. So of the last 24 national champions, 23 of them had a top 21 KenPom offense, 22 of them had a top 31 defense. So meaning when you're trying to think about what team do I think is going to advance, what team do I think is going to win it all, where do I get my biggest points from the bracket, we really want to find teams that meet both criteria there. Now, like I said, before we move on, this website does have a ton of free data. There is more data if you pay for the subscription. For some people, definitely worth it. Like I said, super cool website, dives into much deeper info for each team if you do get the paid subscription. But like I was showing you, even the free one gives you a good idea, gives you a good ranking system, gives you an idea of where to go with your picks. So, like I mentioned, we're going to talk about the teams that meet the KenPom criteria to win a national championship, or expected to. First off, Duke, they were first overall in KenPom. They are third in offensive efficiency and fourth in defense. Florida, first in offense, 10th in defense. Houston, 10th in offense, second in defense. Auburn, they are second in offense and 12th in defense. Tennessee is 18th in offense, third in defense. Gonzaga, 9th in offense, 29th in defense, so they barely snuck in there. Iowa State also barely snuck in there, 20th in offense, 9th in defense. And then Wisconsin is 13th in offense and 27th in defense. So these are some of the teams that you may not have thought of when you were thinking about, oh, where are these top elite teams I should be thinking about? You may be wondering where's the first overall in defense. That is in St. John's, actually, is the number one overall defense, but their offense is 65th overall. So this is a situation where we can probably expect them to win a game or two. I don't expect them to win the national championship after doing a deeper dive and seeing that their offense just has not been up to par. It'll be interesting to see how that adjusts as they do play their first couple games, playing their round of 64 and then their round of 32. But these are the teams that we most expect have the highest chances of winning the national championship. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down from our original 68 already. Now, that being said, we are going to look at teams that are just outside of that because data does change. These things are variable. Alabama, 4th in offense, 32nd in defense. Texas Tech, 6th in offense, 37th in defense. They are in the same region as St. John's and Florida, so that could be an area where we see two really good teams line up together. Arizona's 12th in offense, 33rd in defense, so they just missed it. And then same with Clemson, just missed out. 24th in offense and 16th in defense. So again, Clemson's kind of flown under the radar all year. They are also a 5 seed. So they have a big chance to step up and kind of impress some people, play outside of the 5 seed that we see him at. They're going to be matched up against McNeese State, who is coached by Will Wade. Really good team. But looking at this, and McNeese State also isn't bad on KenPom either, but Clemson looks like a team that we need to watch out for a little bit more seriously than you may expect for a 5 seed. Another really good one is evanmaya.com or evanmia.com. Sorry if I mispronounced that. This website is really cool. Probably has the most data that I've seen just on a college basketball ratings and statistical analysis website. This is just the home screen of it. You can see top 10 teams, top 10 players. He releases different blog posts, different articles, top projected three-point shooters, resume quality, and then again some more posts. You can see on the left here it breaks down both teams and players, some tournament odds, bracket simulations, so you can run those and use those just to make picks for you if you even wanted to. Stuff about the transfer portal. So again, a lot of stuff not just for March Madness but just for college basketball in general. Whoops. Game predictions. Now, these ones down here are behind a paywall. You do have to subscribe. I think it's well worth it. They put out amazing content, amazing data, really good statistics to help you learn more about basketball, learn about teams, team resumes, a lot of really cool stuff. One of the ones on here, their team ratings has what's called the relative rating. And that one even includes how teams do against different tempos, teams that play up to their opponents or down to their opponents if they're playing a worser opponent. And it even shows an adjustment based on injuries. So teams like Duke, for instance, where their best players out and Cooper Flagg plus Malik's out. That's a big one. Iowa State, they currently have a big injury issue. Illinois played a lot of the season through injuries, same with Louisville. So teams like that can show, do we need to fear for those injuries, or how do we think they're going to do with those guys being out in their current roster? And it gives roster rankings as well. So like I said, this one probably has the most data that I've seen. You get good articles and blog posts. He talks even about underseeded teams and how we expect them to overperform where they might be at. Teams such as Clemson, like we mentioned, and Louisville. Offers game predictions that is behind the paywall. And like I said, gives good info for both teams and players. And then the relative rating is a super cool ranking system with a lot of detail put in it, some filters, and then like I said, even adjusts for injuries, which is really nice when we come down to the end of the year and we've got some teams banged up, long season, just finished hard conference tournament play. Really cool way to get an idea of where we're going. Now, how I build brackets. Ooh, my screen didn't save all the words. All right, much better. All right, how I build my brackets. You got to mix it up. So play with these different sites that we talked about. There's always going to be some personal bias. You're always going to have the team that you want to win really badly, such as when we're talking about like Clemson, for instance. I would love for McNeese State to pull off that upset. But now that I've looked at some of the data, the KenPom, the Bartorvik rankings, it's really hard to say Clemson's going to lose that game. Got to use some of the eye tests too. What you've seen on TV, what you've watched. If you're a big fan of teams, we've talked about like A&M, for instance, with their offensive inconsistency. That makes it really hard to assume that or give me confidence in them to beat a team like Yale, which can get really hot, score a lot of points quickly. You got to make a lot of brackets. You got to kind of feel out how you're going to do it, get past the emotional part, and then get to the point where you're doing it purely off data, purely off what you expect to happen and not just what you want to happen. And then listen to analytics. There's a reason that KenPom is known for covering, what was that criteria, over 90, 96% or 91, 96% of all the champions meet that criteria over the last 25 years. So there's a reason all that's out there. There's a reason that a lot of people talk about the analytics. So these are all just various ways to improve your bracket. This is for anyone who is trying to win their work league, teach someone how to make their first bracket. Maybe you just got into college basketball and you just want to have fun with it. Maybe you're like me and you're going to make 25 ESPN brackets and another one on CBS Sports and one on Fox, one through the NCAA official website. These are all just some tools to talk about. I'm going to make a video where we make an entire bracket and then kind of talk about the process I go through as I'm doing that, as I'm collecting data and deciding where I want to go with it, my favorite teams, my favorite picks, how I pick upsets, etc., etc. So, thank you all for joining me today. Please leave any likes, or please leave a like, comment, subscribe to us. Please leave any questions, thoughts, questions about how we're going to build a bracket, scenarios you want me to play out, because there's millions of different ways this thing can go. Who your favorite is, who you want to win, who you're a team or fan of, your alma mater. Please let me know what you want us to talk about, if there's anything specific you want to go over, or you want me to just dive in and start making brackets and having fun with it, okay? Like I said, thank you all very much for joining me. Good luck with March Madness this year. Let's all have some fun.